Hello, my name is Spencer Hunter. I am from Olympia, Washington. Um, I have one brother. He is 3.5 years older than me. He just graduated from college with a degree in architecture. I'm really close to him, and he's always been a really important part of my life. Um, my mom's name is Laura. She was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then she moved to Colorado, and then she moved to Idaho Falls when she was very young, um, when she lived for a while, and then she came to Seattle to the University of Washington to go to college, and she lived in Washington for the last like 40 years of her life. Um, she is a fiber artist and has a degree in art from the University of Washington. Um, and she is a big inspiration for me. She's kind of why I chose the art major and why I have been interested in art for so long. Um, my dad is Alan Olson. He was born in Idaho Falls, and then he moved to Chicago to go to school, and then he came to Seattle to get his master's degree. Um, and he is now a physics teacher at the University of Washington in Tacoma. My parents lived together in Olympia in the house that I grew up in. Um, my dad's parents are both dead. His mom, Lynn, um, passed away when she was 68 from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. She died when I was very young, so I don't really have much of a memory of her. She was born in Georgetown, California, and I'm not really totally sure on her lineage. I know that she spent a long time, her family has been in the US for a long time, and she actually did a lot of genealogy work when she was alive. So anything that I do know about that side is thanks to her. And her husband, my dad's father, Harvey, was born in Big Piney, Wyoming, which is a very small ranch town where he lived for a long time. He became a nuclear engineer. And yeah, he has a lot of Swedish ancestry, I know. And then on my mom's side, both of them are still alive. They live in Olympia with my parents. My mom's mom, Beverly, was born in Peoria, Illinois, one of 13 children. She has a lot of Scottish and Irish heritage. She was a nurse for her professional life. And my mom's dad, Jim Hunter, was born in Iowa City, Iowa, and he also became a nuclear engineer, just like my dad's dad. I really know very little about his history, his family history. Um, for the places that I am from and the places that are special to me, I have always felt like the Pacific Northwest, Washington, and specifically Olympia and the house that I grew up in are really my home. I know that like a lot of people don't have as much of a connection to one house, but I lived my entire memory in that one house, and I've always felt like it was a very special house, and it's changed me in a lot of ways. In the same way that Olympia has. Olympia is on the Squaxin tribal land and is very near to the Nisqually tribe. And I grew up knowing a decent amount about the native culture surrounding there, mainly because the Nisqually tribe has a fair amount of presence in the area with the Nisqually Nature Reserve, and in the schools that I went to when I was younger. It was at least talked about. It wasn't like, a centerpiece, but it was still seen as somewhat important. Yeah, so I've fallen in love with this area. I really don't see myself leaving. I feel very connected to this land. And I would really like to learn as much as I can about the history and about the people and the land itself and, what's happened here. As for places, as for projects, I do identify as an artist. Like I said, my mom is a textile artist, and she's been a big inspiration to me. I love art. I've drawn for many years. I find it's a great way for me to express myself and for me to just have fun. And yeah, I think that also does relate to Olympia as a town, because Olympia is a very arts focused town. I was often involved in arts programs when I was younger in elementary school and middle school, and that was often very driven by the people I was around. And like I said, Olympia just has a big art presence, and that's kind of pushed me in that direction. Um, yeah, I also just really enjoy learning about things. I love learning, and specifically, I really like learning about nature and geography and land. I've been interested in the nature and history of the Northwest for a long time. I am interested in going into something in the ecology space, something studying nature and having an opportunity to exist in the beautiful forests and mountains that we have around us. I don't have a super clear set path. I am currently an art major, but that's really quite up in the air. That's mostly just because I do enjoy it and I want an opportunity to get into those classes. But moving forward, I'm interested in looking into at least possibly minoring in AIS, but I think ecology right now is the thing I'm most interested in, and that interest of mine comes from the land that I grew up on, because I've always felt like we have a really special piece of land here in the Northwest. The life and the mountains and the water is really amazing. Yeah, and so that is me.